I'm Peter Fatty. This 5-minute video describes the occlusion approach that I've developed for training baseball pitch recognition. The occlusion approach means cutting off the video of an opponent, in this case a pitcher, and forcing the subject or the trainee to guess what type of pitch. Now, in the early 2000s, I took this research laboratory method used since the early 80s and used it for training D1 college players. This is the hardest occlusion point cut off right out of the hand. Earlier, the batter was able to see about 10 feet of ball flight. Occlusion training was very successful in the laboratory, but of course to be useful, we had to be able to get it out of the laboratory and into the field, which meant putting it onto a laptop computer. This is an early prototype by Axon Sports. I used it in the Cape Cod Baseball League for training projects and testing projects in 2012, 13, and 14. The big challenge then was to take the occlusion approach out of the computer and into the batting cage. Here the net is occluding the pitch.
Yes.
The batter's working on a two-pitch combination, that is, pitches coming out high. It's either a fastball or a curveball below the line. Fastball he takes or he hits, curveball below the line he'll take.
No.
Reads curve, takes the pitch. On the other hand, if the ball comes out over the line, fastball he takes, curveball he hits.
Yes.
And we take this into the bullpen as well for stand-in drill. Now, people say they've been using stand-in drill since they were kids. The difference here is that the batter needs to call out the pitch, either the type of the pitch, or yes, or hit. Doesn't really matter what word it is. He's got to get that out before the ball hits the catcher's mitt, which means that his attention needs to be cut off, needs to be so focused on the release of the pitch to be able to get that word out before the ball hits the catcher's mitt. I call that attention occlusion. Ultimately, we're working towards where the batter can make such a strong visual image of the pitcher that he doesn't need one. Here the batter is working on a right-handed pitcher, working him over with the slider off the corner, fastball on the corner combination.
No.
A full pitch recognition training program then has a number of elements to it. It's got the technology, which we use for testing and training, but it's also got the batting cage drills. It's also got the focus that we've developed on combination pitches. Warren Spahn said a pitcher needs two pitches, one they're looking for, one to cross them up. Of course, you have 3 or 4 or 5 pitches, but any particular pitch out of a zone is going to be one or the other. The team that in the 2013 into 2014 preparation and then season worked with a full program like this had substantial gains, almost half again as many runs per game in conference, all of the offensive statistics up, including the walk to strikeout ratio considered to represent plate discipline. And this compares to another team that was also very good and improving through that same time period. And as the chart shows here, you can see the team in blue, the trained team, improving, yes, improving, but also improving beyond reasonable expectation. Even more meaningful than the gains for the program, for the team, however, were that the best players got better. And here the switch hitter that you saw earlier in the bullpen, Matt Teller, was drafted 10th round by the Braves. He improved his power substantially in his senior season, while at the same time not losing his plate discipline, and he hit 5 more home runs off of curveballs in 2014 than he had the previous year. So what we've shown, what we've demonstrated, what we've worked out is getting this approach into baseball routines, normal stuff. It doesn't feel exotic to the players at all. There's no sign of paralysis by analysis, just like technique or weight training work. We do the heavy work off season, maintenance in season. We see the team offensive gains. We see the best hitters getting better. And now, going into a second season, we see the coaches taking ownership of the program. I'm still doing research with it, but they're doing the training. It's their program. I invite you to email me at peter.fatty@gmail.com to talk about an occlusion training of pitch recognition clinic, or potentially a program with your team. Thank you for your attention.